Okay, I'm gonna be straight here. I'm really bad at being like, I'm gonna do this task, and then I go and move and do that task, right? And it's not because I don't want to do that task, it's because I forget about something else that needs to be done first, or I decide something else is more important, basically. And I kind of screw myself up in that sort of manner. So, there may or may not be footage or videos in between this current clip, and basically, I kind of want to start over with not the series, but like with the method that I'm using to record, because I'm doing a bad job at it, I think. So basically, here's our starting base, right? We started here, made up our part mall. Then I was like, hey, I want to do this sort of like grid base, and I would do a main bus, right? Okay. I was like, you know, screw it. I'm just gonna do spaghetti. So then I started making a big spaghetti train network, right? It started pretty spaghetti, like right here, and like, you know, it was kind of disorganized. It just had different train stops providing, like, you know, I'm just like, okay, well, this needs wood and coal, and then this train stop would be the output, and then that would be coal coke, and, you know, oh, I need sand or stone here. The output would be sand, you know what I mean? Like, so I just kept doing that. I was even doing it with a few, like, pretty much almost every material in the game, minus intermediates. I was doing them over here, but this was because I was going to make a mall. But I've since potentially changed the way I'm going to do all of this, right? So I was doing this, I was just kind of experimenting with trains, having fun, and then now that this is done, now I'm more like, okay, I want an organized base. So then that's what I've been doing over here, right? So I have sort of 3 stations on each side of the track, and I have 3 sets of those, and then I have like a loop, and I can go. I have these stackers sections that I place somewhat regularly. So some of these products might actually have a lot of, like, there might be a lot of things required to make something, right? So then that's when I build it on a corner, like so. That's because I need glass, plastic, and silicon. I built those in, I make the thing, and I bring it out over here, right? So I need a corner one because I need the 4 stations. I mean, I could also just bring it from over here as well. So I essentially came and rebuilt my whole base like this, which is fine because you need to upgrade anyways. And the way I had built this previous base is not very upgradable. Where with this base, I have the ability to be like, all right, I don't like the circuit build. I'm going to use productivity modules. I'm going to use beacons. I'm going to use speeds. I'm going to change to the bigger fancy assembling machines, whatever. So I can just remove all of this, do that, and then rehook it up, and it works again, right? All I'd really have to do is disconnect the inputs, let everything drain out, and go. So that's what I've been working on, and again, this might be the first clip of showing off this. Like, there was so much progress in between, there was a lot of footage in between, but the way it was recorded or whatever, it's just like, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna make this, and I'd go do it, and I'd come back, and I'd be like that, and whatever. And it doesn't really, there's no like story to tell of my sort of my path, right? Because there's missing pieces everywhere. So basically we're at this point now. We have this slightly more organized base. So I'm actually working on sort of the main hub here of the base. Now this is going to be an area where on the insides, I have 36 train stations, and these can provide me with every sort of material in the game, most likely like raw resources, maybe some gears, some certain specific intermediates and stuff like that. And then in here is where I would be doing some crafting with drones. So that's the point of this. So it has 400 crafters, assembling machines, and it has 13 storage warehouses. Now these can hold a lot of items. So you saw my drones here. What I'm doing is I'm picking up, I think it's, did they already get it? Oh, they got that one already, nice. I'm picking up these giant warehouses right now. They take it takes a lot of construction drones to drain these bad boys. They have thousands and thousands of items in them, tens of thousands of items in them. So I'm bringing them all over here. I'm going to put them all in this because this is going to be the mall. At first, I wasn't going to connect this to the base. So if we look at the logistics system, I was going to have this gap, right? And I've closed this gap, and I've went and made sure using a upgrade planner that any passive providers are gone. If I can find it. Yeah, I want to make sure that any passive provider chests are gone. They're replaced with buffer chests. So these can be used by drones for constructing things, and they can be used by drones that are specifically bringing items to my inventory. These chests will only request like items from here if I say to request from buffer chests. Otherwise, these don't request, these blue requester chests. So then that means that I can actually connect to the space, and I can still use those buffer chests as sort of a construction requester / whatever. And those should, you know, only take from these passive providers, And then if I have such a big normal storage, any items I pick up should be put back into the main storage, these storage warehouses here. And items in these sort of yellow buffer chests are always prioritized over these passive providers where the items are being put in. So when these fill up, because there's too many items, the robots will not prioritize taking from them, which would then turn on the machine and then it would consume resources. It will actually just take from this chest instead. It will take from where there's already existing materials of that sort. So that's good because likewise, the requester chest will do the same thing when they request items. They won't actually take from passive providers. So with my trains being set up here, I would put down passive providers. So they will not actually prioritize those. They will prioritize this inner storage. So any sort of like parts or electronics, like literally any item in the game that has made its way into the center storage, right? Whether it's this coal, some of these splitters, roboports, some pipes, wood, electric mining drills, assembling machines, anything I have here will now be prioritized to go back in the system. So I'm essentially recycling existing items that I may have forgotten about, and now they come back here. So this is just supposed to be a giant mall, basically. All of my items that I need to build will be here. A lot of the intermediate products, like all my types of circuits, the engines, the flying robot frames, low density structure, pretty much anything here, like any sort of intermediate product will end up being put here, along with, of course, all of our productivity modules, our concretes, our bricks, all of our chests, like all of our items will just be basically here, with the exception of probably like gears and stuff. I might make them here. I do have a lot of these assemblers, so I might actually be able to say like, okay, we'll make me some gears of this type, that type, instead of making them somewhere else. So then that way, this whole area just requests iron, basically. Like this whole area will be like, okay, I need iron, versus having multiple different areas that are requesting iron just to make gears, so then it can bring it here anyways. So hopefully we have enough assemblers. I mean, in the future, I can use beacons, right? And I can also put speed modules inside of these assembling machines as well. So I could get like potentially a machine here that's 4 of these making gears, right? And they would be working very fast to provide gears to the rest of the system, basically. I mean, there's only so many items in the game. I have a good feeling about half of these will be needed for structures. So we can see already I've got, you know, some copper wires there, some inserter parts here, which is something I probably could have made somewhere else, but because it's only useful in the mall, it's fine here as it is. I'm also making my level 2 beacons. I'll probably make level 3 beacons as well, but I could also do sort of those really basic intermediate products here. So once these drones are done, sort of moving all of these items back from here, I will be able to start thinking about actually just disassembling this whole beginner base. And I will not be disassembling these train tracks yet, because there are quite a few things here that are incredibly useful, such as we have engines being made here, we have batteries being made here, electrical engines, and robot frames. So we basically would have to remake all 4 of these in our current base, our new and improved sort of fresh blocky base here. We'd have to move those down there, and I don't want to do that yet until I start researching some of these nicer efficiency, sort of productivity, speed modules and stuff like that, right? So I want to do those first, 100% prioritize that. Of course, after I get this mall here kind of up and running, we're missing a lot of these stack inserters. I do have a chest to make them, however, I do believe we are lacking advanced circuits from the system at the moment. Now, the main reason we're lacking that is because of our iron. I could make another one of these to provide more enriched iron. We don't have one of these in our main base anyways. We only have one here for the coal and the rare metals. So we could additionally add an iron one around here in the nearby area. In fact, I could put it right here, because that would basically allow me to bring this polluted water over here as well, so that we have this one polluted water station, and just kind of tie that together. Now, as far as energy goes, we are definitely pushing the limits of what our base can do right now. So I think, yeah, we were draining quite a bit of battery here even during the daytime, just because we had so many drones going on right now in the charging, but they're starting to slow down because they've completed that really big task I gave them. So we have solar panels set up here, and these solar panels are working really, really well. Now, there's a bit of a battery bias to the solar panel, so like, there's a bit of extra batteries in here. So there's actually more batteries than the solar panels can charge and use at the same time, which is fine, because like we just saw, when I do those really big drone tasks, it actually helps a lot and sort of keeping the base still functioning. Otherwise, I'd run out of power, and that would kind of suck. So these have been working great, and I can upgrade them with better solar panels in the future. It's actually the fairly close future. We can get these bad boys, and they do 150% more. They are quite a bit more expensive. They will require solar panels, which is fine because we can sort of upgrade those. And they're going to require a new material called immersite and new gas called nitric acid, and then we'll be able to make these advanced solar panels. So this would basically increase all of our power by 150%. Of course, that's not all the tricks up my sleeve, because also there are a couple power options in this mod. So one is a more advanced nuclear power. So I'm probably going to skip nuclear power and go right to the more advanced one, which is the fusion energy. And with that fusion energy, that makes a serious amount of power. And even more so, there's like antimatter for endgame. And that makes a ridiculous amount of power in exchange for matter, which is essentially made from any raw resource. So I could essentially come over here, grab all this coal, copper, iron, stone, convert it all into matter, and then use it to run like a lot of power. I could just convert it into power, basically. We also have a large amount of storage right here that I had temporarily built, so I'll go get my guys to get rid of that. My little jerks here went ahead and put a bunch of stuff in my inventory. Thank you very much. Okay, so in order to get the items back in to the system, all I have to do is this. I'm gonna go ahead and do that so it can reach the filters. I just had to put some drone stations here right beside the train stations as they are normally. And then they'll be able to go ahead and just grab anything that's coming from those passive providers. Of course, those are not main priority for the drones in any sort of way. I suppose I would have to do another big project, not like a massive project. For the drones, it would be. And delete this entire bus. Oh no. I disabled my power somehow. This is really bad, actually. This has the potential to be super bad. I told them how to fix it. It's just a question if they actually fix it or not. They're just dying to gas, right? Or whatever. I might have to manually put down a few pieces here. Totally didn't think that was gonna happen. Okay, we're back up. We're back in business again. Are we not back in business? Why isn't this connected? All of these now need to charge up at the same time. It's gonna take a lot of energy. It's gonna take a while for my drones, I think, to recover from this massive tragedy of losing the power. I forgot I only had that one connection. I should have, I don't know, blacklisted. I should have blacklisted drone ports and towers, like power towers from that deletion. But it's okay, the wall is repaired, the power is back. The drain is insane, but it's recovered again. So, I'm painfully aware of the fact that I have way too much stacked iron in my storage. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get rid of it, which will help a bit get the iron back into the system. Basically up here, I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see. I don't have any stack inserters on me. I don't think, wait, do I not have I do. We don't really have those anymore. We're running low on a lot of resources, right? So let me do this, get some requester chests down. Let's make sure we have a robo port, and then we're gonna go ahead and request stacked iron. All right, the drone should go nuts and bring all of the stacked iron out, I think. Now, if I were to check, it probably would still say have stacked iron. Oh, it doesn't. Ooh, interesting. Another thing I could do is something like this and just request iron ore. So input priority right sides and left side. So then this will bring some iron ore to put into this chest, and it will prioritize the iron ore that's in these like little chests, and then once they run out of iron ore, that'll work. It's a pretty handy little system to get rid of some of the, again, there's just so much junk in the system. I could do it with stone, but stone is used in main things, in the main area, so like, yeah. But man, we've got a lot of stuff here, like so much, like for building even. These stacked things are very useless. We have to make sure we get rid of those at some point. But I think I checked, we actually don't have too many stacked items here. Some stacked stone, plastic, silicon, and these rare metals, electronic components. to destack those. All right, so thanks for watching. Now, future plans, aside from maybe one more episode here, I have a little bit of footage that's recorded from the same session. I will basically make like a to-do list, and I will be like, okay, so I want to make blue science, and then the video will be about blue science. Now, if I'm able to set that up quickly, that just means that I will have to do potentially less editing, or I will keep more of the footage in the video to try to get it to be 10-15 minutes. But if it's long, then the video length could go up to 20 to 25 minutes, and I might have to do more editing to make sure that it's like this linear sort of progression, and that we start the task and complete the task in the video. Doing this would allow me to be more like, okay, what's up guys, while I play the game, and then I can actually end the game and sort of do an outro and be happy with the progress I've made, versus me having to post record like I am right now and be like, oh, I'm doing all this stuff. So I have a few ideas for some new recording things that I think would suit me better. This is still just a learning experience. It's my first series with this type of game. So definitely by the time I do like a next series for this game especially, I will have an ironed out sort of method for making videos, right? And it will be much more fluid. And hopefully we don't end up with giant time skips like this, where we just skip basically like 30 hours of gameplay. But thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Yeah.